Howdy, boys and girls. So we just got down to the shop. Dagnells is here. He's outside putting a sweet roof spoiler on his S13. One of his S13s. I don't even know which one he has, but we'll go check up on him in a minute. But today we got a couple things going on. So we're gonna pull the transmission out of the Pajero. So that's the main thing we're getting done today. I got my trike pulled out. I finally got a head for this. We're gonna put this together. That's not today, that's gonna be its own video. But we're gonna get my trike ready for the spring so we can rip it around here. And quickly, I got the CRV pulled in here. And it's a real common Honda thing. In between, like, I am gonna 5-speed swap this, but for the time being, while I'm driving it, even though this thing only has like 48,000 miles on it, in between second and third, sometimes when it's on the colder side, when it warms up, it seems to go away. But you'll get a transmission flare. It'll like rev up before it shifts into third or fourth, sometimes both. So they say that that's a solenoid issue. So I picked up a aftermarket solenoid pack, and we're just gonna throw it on. Looks super simple to do, and see if it fixes it. If it does, hooray. If not, not a huge deal. Like I said, I'm pulling this trans out soon anyways. But yeah, so let's put the solenoid in and see if the flare goes away. The car is still ice cold, so if it fixes it, it will be immediately apparent. It is windy as hell out here, but Dagnells' car just looking fire these days. I showed you the other day, he put on the OEM side molding kit, which really breaks up the red. But this is the wing he just put on, the little roof wing. And I really like the way it looks. It's a company called HIC. But I'm gonna look to see if I can find something like that for the S14. And even for the Sima, because the Sima would rock that thing sweet. I got another one of these plate frames from Dagnells. I'm actually kind of liking the R33 wheels on it these days too. I got to put spacers on the front. But Dagnells red. This car's RB25 if you guys don't know. Neo R34 motor. Got the same brakes I got on the Silvia. We did them at the same time. And this car has come a long way. He built this thing from the ground up. And it's looking fire. There is the RB25 Neo. He's got the same strut bar as me as well. It's the Nissan OEM factory option, which is like one of my favorite bars for the S chassis.
It just looks so chunky.
Yeah.
They're nice.
So we bought the brakes at like the same time. We also bought the bars at the same time. He bought this one. And he bought this one. I was trying to buy it from the seller. And he bought it without even knowing that I was trying to buy it. He sent him like a little bit higher offer and he sold it to him, but then the guy had another one and sold it to me. But this one's actually a little bit cleaner than mine, but it's what it is. He also got the sides powder coated. I didn't do that yet. But he did this RB25 swap quite some time ago, and this is honestly, I can honestly say it's been the best running RB I've ever seen. I've had nothing but problems with all my RBs. Everyone I know has had issues with RBs. This thing has just been rock solid. It idles perfectly. First off, the R34 electronics from stock are way better than the 33 and 32. Just the cam angle sensor's way upgraded, but he doesn't even have that anymore. He's got the trigger kit on here, a Link ECU, and he's got a bigger Garrett turbo now. But even when this thing was all stock, it ran just perfect. It's like the best RB25 swap I've seen. He like kind of Frenched in the radiator here.
Oh yeah, it was tight.
Yeah, it was super tight, and it looks good like that. Yeah. But this car came out awesome, and it's been rock solid for quite a few years now. What did you do that swap? 4 years ago? 5 years ago?
Yeah, it's been a long time. That might even be a little like 6.
Yeah, back when RBs were cheap.
Yeah, whole swap.
How much? Yeah, how much?
$3 grand for the whole.
$3 grand for the whole swap with the trans.
trans, wiring harness.
Oh my God, $3 grand for the whole swap with the trans, drive shaft, everything. That's what the prices were back then. It's not even like you got a good deal. That's how much they cost.
That's crazy.
He did get a good deal because it was complete, but I mean, it wasn't smoking. You could have bought this motor anywhere for $3 grand back in the day. Now I don't even know what these are going for. It's probably a $7,000 swap now.
Probably.
Yeah, with the trans.
With the trans,
trans alone's $2 grand.
Yeah.
But this car is set up super nice. All right, we started pulling the trans out of this Pajero Mini. We now have the drive shaft ready to come out. So that is loose. From the looks of it, I'm just gonna have to drop this tranny brace, let that drop down. I could slide that out of the transfer case and start going at the trans itself. I'm gonna have to take off one more drive shaft, a short one right there. I don't think I'm gonna have to touch the exhaust. There is a few bushings that I'm probably gonna have to replace. They're on the front axle. Gotta figure out how to take those off so we can refresh this whole thing while we're down here. We are moving and grooving. We got the first drive shaft out. We got the transmission cross member out. And now we have a transmission that's slightly angled down. One more drive shaft. And a couple plugs. And a linkage setup. And this baby's out. It should take all of, I don't know, 40 minutes or so. If I stop dilly-dallying like I tend to do. All right, so we got a little bit done on here tonight. Of course, I didn't bring my flashlight over here. But if you see, all the drive shafts are done. The bolts for the bell housing are 90% out. Linkage is off. All I really have to do on this is the electrical plug right there. I can pop that out quick. The shifter on top and a couple more bolts, including the starter, and we should be able to pull her out no problem. All right, after a little bit of a struggle because I forgot one 10mm bolt on just that, I'll show you guys it. It's the splash shield that covers up the flywheel. I forgot a 10mm bolt. I'm like, why the hell is this thing not coming out? I could wiggle it all around, but it was like behind a line and I did half of it, so it was loose enough for me to move the whole tranny around. I'm like, what the hell's going on? But I finally seen it, so I unscrewed it and it came right out. Not a very heavy transmission, very light. But we know the reason of the clutch failure for sure was a leaking main seal or transmission seal. We have to check to see which seal is actually leaking. It might be the transmission seal that's been leaking, but we don't know. It might be the rear main as well. But this is all tore up. Oh my goodness, that throwout bearing is bad. So we need a throwout bearing and a clutch at the very minimum, and a whole lot of cleaning and seals. I am going to take this apart right now, and we should be able to see if the rear main is leaking. So I'm just going to zip this apart. All right, we got the clutch off, and it's not nearly as bad as I thought it was. It's obviously worn. And there's a flywheel right there. I just kind of ran out of room, so I threw it here. But it didn't die from contamination. It's definitely worn out. But it's hard to tell if the rear main or the trans seal failed. So I'm going to have to dig deeper into it. They both kind of look wet, but the back of the flywheel is not wet. So that makes me think that it's the trans seal. And that's all gear oil inside the bell housing. But that is for another day. We are done for the day. My hat's all crooked from hitting my head so many times. We are done for the day, and we are going to end the video here. So you know the deal, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. It is starting to break the weather. The weather is starting to break, and we're gonna have more exciting stuff coming out. We're gonna have nicer cars. We're gonna do some more cool stuff to our cars, and hopefully we grow a little bit. But stay tuned. We're gonna get a clutch made for this. We're gonna bring it to a local place that makes clutches, so we don't have to order one from Japan. And get this Pajero Mini back together and maybe have some fun with it. Catch you guys on the next one. Bye.